In today's scenario, are we really focusing on products, or are we focusing on product as a service? We try to understand all that in a deeper sense so that you will understand the difference between user experience and service experience. And you will also understand the difference between a product and service and user and customer, and how in coming days we are going to get into service design as a word part. Okay, so first thing is, what is product, what is service? Presume I have a mobile phone. This is a product. Now, otherwise, let's take washing machine. Washing machine is a product. Now, what we can do as a service? If I convert washing machine as a product to service, then the service is going to be laundry service. Now here you will try to understand the difference between user and customer. If I'm using washing machine as an individual, then I'm a user. Now, if I'm converting that washing machine as a service, then the game changes furthermore. Now you have customers who comes for laundry service. So in such scenario, the service experience of each touch points plays a vital role. Do you agree with me? If I'm only talking about washing machine, the guy who interacts with washing machine, done. He is the user. Now we are also dealing with the same thing. You are dealing with interfaces. You are dealing with touch points. As a user experience guy, you are trying to understand the users who interacts with the digital interfaces. It can be app, it can be a website, it can be anything, any digital interface. But tell me one thing, is digital interface experience is enough to make a business successful? Think like this. Now the world is changing. World is no more selling products as a products. World is selling products as a services. So in such scenario, digital interface is going to be one touch point, that's it. It is not a complete package. I think we are using day in, day out, we are using a lot of products. The best one which mostly we use every day is either Zepto we use Swiggy, we use Swiggy Instamart, we use Blinkit, we use Ola, Uber. Now if you observe very carefully, are you really disappointed with the interface? No, because you are doing day in, day out. So you don't care about interface anymore. Then where your disappointment comes in, the product, is the service part. If the delivery boy is late, you get irritated. If the food is not coming to you properly, then you have an issue with this experience. Correct? Do you agree with me? You can use chat to communicate, because I have muted you guys for a purpose so that I don't want the noise to come in. Okay, but you can always use chat to express your thing. Otherwise, you can always use this. So in such scenario, if I'm talking about a product, is that enough to survive? And one more thing, if you observe in the latest trends, every business is converted themselves as a omni-channel businesses. So it is a new word. Omni-channel means multiple possibilities. Say the people are selling products, they are offering services through different platforms. It can be physical platform, it can be social platform, it can be communities, it can be through apps, it can be through websites, it can be on a different levels. Now, you don't care about where you are taking the service. You care about whether my service, I'm getting the service in a proper way or not. Am I happy with my service or not? Correct? Do you agree with me? So in such scenario, if I am talking about only product, is my business model going to be a successful thing? Definitely no. Because you don't need users alone. You need a customer. Customer is someone who uses all your different products. Say, if I'm not happy with Swiggy, am I going to get into Swiggy Instamart? No. But Swiggy as a company, if you look at it, Swiggy offers food delivery, Swiggy offers grocery delivery, Swiggy offers dining, Swiggy offers parcel service. Now, different services it is offering. Now, if I get a bad experience on any service, I'm not constrained myself with that particular topic. If I have a bad experience with the food, I'm not going to use Instamart. I'm not going to use parcel service. I'm not going to use their dining facility. Because my experience gives me bad memory. That reflects on my other services also. So when we are choosing such things, you should be very careful where all the platforms, all the services, people feel happy. So you need to align the services so that he is not going to be your user. In fact, he is going to convert himself as a loyal customer. If he becomes loyal customer, then whatever you start with, if you are starting new service, he's ready, his willingness will be more to get into that service also, to adopt that service also. So the bigger challenge in today's world is how I can create more loyal customers, because to get a customer on board, you are spending a lot of money through advertisement or through offers or whatever it is. Once the customer comes, what are the retaining factors? We need to understand that as a business sense. You know something? Today, the biggest banks in America are hiring service design executives. Take Capital One is one of the biggest bank in US. Now they have a service design manager. CEO, CTO, CXO, today service design executive, chief service design, chief service designer, something like that. So that means the companies need to focus on services, what they offer, and what kind of experiences they are delivering while they are offering the services. Because the major contributors for financial sector, healthcare sector, or quick commerce, or any app-centric services like Amazon or anything, the major contributor is service. Today, even if you observe the revenues of the governments, it's not the product alone they are making money. They make money through services more than, say, for example, you are selling a car as a Tata Motors or as a Maruti Suzuki. It is one-time money. Let me give you one example of this. Apple is one of the best company which earns huge monies through this service design. You take iTunes, you take Apple TV. These are all services through the products they are enabling it. And you know how much every quarter it is making it? It's making more than $20 billion revenue every quarter through these services. When you make money through services, the profitability of the services are more. It is more than 60% is a profit. That's the game. That's why all the companies are focusing majorly onto this service adoption, service experience. Now, be clear on, I think a lot of guys are user experience guys in this seminar workshop. So let me clearly indicate what is the difference here. See, as a user experience, as a product experience guy, you will be dealing with only one part, one touch point, that is interface. So your touch point is one part, but you just think like this: is interface enough to retain a customer? Is interface enough to keep someone engaged and travel with that company for long? Definitely no. You need to care about every touch point. This is why Tesla is successful. This is the reason why Apple is more successful. A lot of successful companies, if you observe, the major contributor to that is service design. Let me explain one simple example. Every day it happens to you guys. Take two coffee shops. Both are offering coffees. Why coffee shop A or coffee shop B? Why one coffee shop there are more customers? Why another coffee shop they don't have much customers? Do you think only coffee is the fundamental thing, nothing else? Definitely no. There are different parameters which influence. Even we can observe that in our nearby grocery stores. Somebody treats you better. Somebody offers you extra facilitation. Maybe that is the key factor for you to choose that guy over the other guy. So if you consider product as a product, it's not enough. Product, you add it with service, then you have a huge possibility. Huge possibility. Today, the world is in that scenario. Now, as a UX designers, people are becoming more of a product designers, product managers. In that, your fundamental thinking is going to be around interface. You want to create a seamless interface experience. You want a joyful experience with the product. You want to create an intuitive approach. I agree with all that. So fundamentally, you work with wireframes, you work with prototypes, you work with usability testings. Why you are dealing with that? It is a user. You are happy to finish off that as an interface. But think like this as a business model. How many times we are thinking app is not a technology driven, app is not a design, app is a business model. It is not a design as a product alone. If that is the case, I think any IT guy can become a successful entrepreneur. But definitely that's not what's happening around the world. You need an ecosystem built around the products to make that product successful. So this ecosystem where you have so many stakeholders comes in. Let's take a simple example of Ola. You have booked a ride. Now, once you have that booking thing over, I think you don't need much do with the interface. Now, where the whole other thing shift, that guy has to call you and you get into the ride. Now your experience is shifted from digital part to physical part. Correct? Now presume if that guy has not treated you well, what is your experience of that ride? Obviously, it's bad. Whether he has charged you more, even though Ola is shown 140 rupees, he charged you more. He pushed you to pay more. Now what happened? Your experience is fake. Understood? He has given you a bumpy ride. Your experience is gone. Now tell me, as a Ola, are you going to remember in the sense of digital screen? Have you ever done that? You never do that. You always remember Ola as a complete package. As the whole ride you remember, and you define your experiences with that. Whether my experience with Ola is good or bad, if someone asks you that, you are going to consider your physical experience and your digital experience together and you have an opinion. Correct? That is why crashing today, any business is easy. Any business can get crashed it is very short. The span is very short. If 2-3 complaints happens with the Swiggy, bingo, Swiggy can be destroyed within no time. You see in front of you so many apps got destroyed. The service is bad. Immediately, see now today you take Ola bikes. What are the major hindrance? Service. Now, if the service is not good, if the service experience is not good, even the Ola as a bike, it is very successful bike, still the sales get dented. People are not happy. So that means there is a clear indication in today's world where you cannot build a business model only on the basis of digital world. Whether you take banks, you take healthcare, you take finance, you take any domain, you cannot build products only on the sense of creating digital experience great. There are so many products where the digital experience is great, but physical experience is where they failed. Then out. Very soon, those companies are going to get vanished. Believe me. Now, let's think about the next stage. What exactly the service design do for us? Basically, it goes beyond UX, where you are creating end-to-end experiences for the user, for the customer. End-to-end means every touch point. I told you in Swiggy, you have 3 touch points here. One, digital touch point where you are booking food through digital. Then it shifts to delivery boy. Then it shifts to restaurant. If restaurant is not properly preparing the food and giving it, you have an issue. If delivery boy is not properly getting you the product in the right format, there is an issue. Time is an issue. Correct? So now if you observe very carefully, more disappointments are happening around the service level. You take quick commerce today, it is becoming more than 30,000 crores company, 30,000 crores industry. If you take the entire quick commerce, the major contributor to quick commerce is service design. You know why? The whole game is 10 to 20 minutes. Now you have to create multiple dark rooms. I think a lot of people doesn't know what is dark room. Basically, the place where They arrange the items ready to pick, that is a dark room. Around Blinkit has built 650 dark rooms across India. So every 2-3 kilometers, there is a touch point where the delivery boy goes and pick up whatever the order it is, and then he delivers it. Now the game is this. Somebody is telling, I'm going to deliver in 10 minutes. Just think, what is the major hindrance here? Digital screen? Definitely no. Because the time counts only after user books the order. Once my booking is over, then the time starts. Now, where the real difficulty happens for the companies, difficulty comes with how effectively I can able to deliver that particular packing part of collecting the items and arranging it and giving it to the delivery boy, and delivery boy is giving it to the user. This is where the whole game is. Now, if you observe very carefully, Blinkit, Zepto, Insta, and Big Basket. Now, these four guys are playing around. Now tell me, if everybody is delivering the same product, on what basis the customer is going to choose? And one more thing is, the biggest problem in this quick commerce is retention of the customer. Every day you need to innovate yourself to improve the service. Now here, the major contributors are not digital screens alone. The major contributors are dark rooms, delivery boys, packing, bringing that to the custom end user without, because there are physical products involved, there is a transportation involved, there is a packing involved. In any of these sensibilities, if the user is not happy, do you think he's going to rate you better? And one more biggest thing is, it is all money driven, time driven. So if I'm not happy, immediately I have alternative available. Last quarter, Zepto has burned around 2,500 crores through offers or service enhancement or whatever it is the reason. Now, when I'm building dark rooms, there is a huge sensibility of service designer applies there. You need customer journey maps there. You need stakeholders. Somebody has to deliver you the milk. Then only you can deliver to the user. So you need to consider all the stakeholders, whoever is aligned with you to deliver. It can be fruits, it can be vegetables, it can be, because Zepto is not creating anything. Zepto is aligning everything and pushing it to the user, correct? Our Instamart is doing that. So if you observe very carefully, Zepto doesn't own restaurants. Zepto doesn't own any delivery by bikes or anything. Nothing. It doesn't own anything. But still, it is a 50,000 crore company. Now, on what basis the valuations are? If you observe, it is completely based on the design sensibilities and service sensibilities. So the valuation can be destroyed because there is no physical thing, physical assets kind of a thing, where I have 10,000 cars available, then I have a valuation. But in this scenario, is there any cars available with them, or is there any restaurants available with them? They own anything? No, absolutely no. Then what is the valuation for them is customer base. Now, Amazon or anybody in that matter, you take Jio, you take Airtel, you take any company, the value of the company is based on how many customers retention around that particular service. Based on that only your valuation is. Now, if you are not giving those valuation appropriate possibilities, say that is why if you observe every month they release Every quarter they release that, these many customers it retained, these many customers it lost. Immediately the market valuation goes down. If you lose customers, the market valuation goes down. So the game is very intense. Now, how you hold back these customers? It totally depends on how effectively you deliver services. Got the point? So how to hold back, how to give them the best service? Is it an easy game? Definitely no. You need to work really hard to make that happen. Now, why service design is important in that aspect? See, basically, if you observe any product, any service, there are two things. One is front end. Second one is backstage. Front stage, backstage. Now, if you observe very carefully, the beautification part, the thinking of UX happens in front stage. What about backstage? You take a movie, the actors are front stage. Actors. Now, cameraman, dance director, music director, producer, all these, lot of guys are backstage guys. So is the movie successful because of front end guys? No. The music should be good. The guy who has to do the direction of the songs, that should be good. The director should be good. The screenplay writer should be good. See, how many backstage actors are there who works greatly to make that movie successful? Now, similarly, you take a product. The front end UX, whatever you are designing, it is only a small part of the big thing. I clearly mentioned in this slide. This slide I clearly mentioned. So if you are focusing on only one particular thing, probably anybody can replicate it. Anybody in that matter. Unless you make a strong service experience around that particular user, he is not going to convert himself as a customer. First, you need to understand that part. Now, in this, there are few people, few stages involved. Now, if you take this particular screen, customer is one guy, one touch point where he will encounter different things. Here, if you observe very carefully, there are two entities. One is tangible, second one is intangible. If I'm talking about experience, if I'm talking about interactions, if I'm talking about a tangible artifacts, and second one is service. So there is a customer, there is a service provider, there is a stakeholder, there is a service designer. Now, what this service designer job is to align stakeholders, to align service providers, to align customers, and create a big ecosystem. Basically, while doing this part, there are three things. One is preparation, pre-service. Say, for example, you take darkroom. I don't know whether you people have anytime visited darkroom, or I don't know whether you know what is darkroom. Probably now, I think this is a word which now you are acquainted with. I think from now on, you need to observe what is darkrooms. So darkroom is the place where the whole backend things will happen. So he has to collect milk, he has to collect vegetables, he has to collect fruits, and he has to segregate it. He has to segregate all the warehouse, so that if one order comes, he could able to finish that order packing ready within 3 minutes, within 4 minutes. That's the game. All quick commerce is all about that. And one more thing is, unless you are ready, you cannot offer the service. If someone wants some service, if my product is not ready, can I offer the service? No. So that means entire ecosystem of Swiggy or Zomato or anybody, you can divide it into three parts. One is pre-service, how you are buying the product, what kind of arrangement you have with the stakeholders. That should be very effective. If you are not properly aligned with your stakeholders, if they are not committed to you, there is very less chances where you can win over the customers. So if you have to win the customers, you need to have a proper service providers. You need to have a backing of stakeholders, which may not be seen thing, because as a UX designer, you don't find that as a much influential thing. But as a service designer, you need to find that as a very important ecosystem. You should be in that line with. If I don't have a service provider who is good enough, then my service is going to have an impact of it. If the stakeholder support is not there, effective support, then I have an issue with my pre-service and service. Service can be like, no, a delivery boy is not properly responding to the time, then there's an impact. And post-service, lot of times, even if you observe, some guy has booked the order. Now the order is getting delayed. Now, have you informed the same that the order is getting delayed due to some reason to the customer? No. Presume somebody has not informed them. Then what happens? He gets angry. He becomes anxious. Then what next step he does is he's try to contact customer support. Now that is called post-service scenario. Or probably service scenario also, sometimes he may contact customer support. Now, if that touch point is not delivered properly, then what happens? I'll tell you one example very recently happened to one of my friends. He booked through Redbus, he booked tickets. Now in the payment point, there was a small mischief where 10,000 rupees from his account got cut. But tickets are not booked. I think it might have happened to you guys also sometimes. You are doing something. In between, there is a lapse in the service, a lapse in the whole system. Might be because of internet, because of the app, because of whatever the reason. I don't get into that. Now, this is where the post-service experience comes in. Generally, presume in Amazon, you are trying to pay and you discontinue. What Amazon tries to do, immediately it will call you and it will ask you, is there any reason you need any help to finish your payment? Now, already I paid and there is a problem with the bank. Now, what I expect, first thing is, as a user, I get blackout. Oh my God, what happened? Now what to do? Because I can't pull another 10,000 rupees to book again so that the money will come later. Definitely my panic, as a user, I get panic. Now tell me what happens. This is where service design is needed. You understood? Now you want someone to support you as a service. You want someone to care for you when you are anxious. Now tell me what that company has done. No clue. It has not given any indication or any proof or any possibility to interact with the Redbus. Now this guy has to wait for some time to compose himself what to do next. Say, for example, if the company has provided some alternative to attend such kind of cases, then his experience could have been better. Even in flights also, sometimes our baggage won't come. That is where you expect that airlines to take care of you as a customer so that you become a loyal customer. See, in these scenarios, these are all physical entities. In these scenarios, service design play a major role. Service designer plays a major role. How I'm creating an ecosystem around the journey of multiple, how I'm creating a multiple customer journey maps. So he has a possibility of a problem with the booking. He has a possibility after booking. He need one journey map you need to develop. So you are going to come across different multiple stakeholder, multiple service providers, and multiple customer journey maps overlap. In such a scenario, service design is the key. That is why service design in coming days, it is going to be very, very huge, because the fight is not going to be anymore with interfaces. The fight is shifted to services. Who delivers better service, he is going to retain the customer. Who doesn't give a better service, he is going to lose the customer. I'm not talking about users. In the beginning itself, I was very clear. User is having a very limited scope. Customer experience have a wider scope. If I am getting a better service on one particular aspect, my willingness to go to the next service offered by that company is going to be more. So you don't need to earn, you don't need to invest on new customers. Already existing customers, you can upsell. To do that part, you need better service providers. Better service you need to provide. So in that scenario, we are going furthermore. What are the key elements in service design? While you have to provide service, you have to create service design. What are the key elements here? One is obvious, user-centered. Okay, the guy who is interacting, you are designed based on his needs and behaviors. I agree. This, as a UX designers also, you do it day in, day out. But is that enough? No. The further next thing is holistic approach. Holistic approach means when you are thinking about screen, don't think about screen alone. Think about what other parameters happens. When you are building a product, if you take top of the pyramid, most of the strategies are built around that. The major thing is, if you don't have a holistic approach from starting to the end, delivery. Say, for example, I'm dealing with Amazon. My thing is not talking about only interface or app. I'm buying one product. If someone can offer this product in 200 rupees, Amazon is offering 300 rupees, that has impact on trust. If this product has not delivered the time, whatever he promised me, that has an impact. If this product is not having a quality, that has an impact. But as a UX designer, you don't care about any of these things. You care about whether I'm making a great product, a great interface or not. But you tell me, every day I think you visit one or the other time, Amazon or Flipkart or whatever. Do you really care about the experience of the screen now? Because you are so habituated, you don't care about it. What you care more about is how easy it is making my services around it. Say, for example, I want to cancel the order. Immediately I can able to do it. If I have to return the order, then I should have an ecosystem where I could able to return the product very easily. My money return, say for example, I cancel something, I should get money. So whatever the automation the Amazon is doing should be good. very easy to handle. So whatever the touch points I have, maybe I can cancel the order, I can return the order, I can get the money. See, these are all different touch points. One is related to finance, one is related to packing, one is related to collecting the product, one is related to interface. So many different factors here. But the whole thing together, it is amazing. Not one alone, that is the digital interface, digital experience, digital usability. No, it goes beyond. Now, when I have to create such good experiences, tell me, I need to take a collaborative approach or not? If I'm creating if I have to create better experience for delivery boys, now I have to co-create with them. I cannot create, I'm sitting at a comfortable AC room and creating an interface and asking them to use it. But those guys are dealing with the traffic. Those guys are dealing with the light. Those guys are dealing with rainy things. Those guys are dealing with different situations. Now, in such a scenario, is it right to stay back on your own and doing something with the sensibilities of artifacts and beautification or experience with respect to digital screens enough? No. That is why you need to collaborate, you need to involve all the stakeholders who are part of that ecosystem. Everybody, as a service providers, as a logistic guys, as everybody in that, finance guys has to come, legal guys has to come on board. Everybody matters to us. Because sometimes you take America kind of a thing. And you tell me nowadays, how many people are caring about accessibility issues? Somebody has a physical, yesterday, I have a guy who delivered me Zepto items. That guy has a physical disability. I was shocked. Now tell me, do you really care about accessibility issues while you are designing the screens? While you are setting up your whole service experience? Are you really thinking about it? Are you taking them into consideration? If that guy is also part of system, right? You know something? In America, one guy has put a case on American Labor Department because that website has not followed accessibility law. The government has to pay him a huge sum of money. So when you are not considering, because those guys are also part of the ecosystem, right? When I'm designing something, there are 10% people who are physically disabled or some other issues, physically or mentally, whatever it is, and you are not considering, and that is the government job to give you a holistic approach on whatever they are creating. If they fail, they have to pay huge sums. Even there are very strict laws, even like Walmart, Target and all, if they are not properly designing their warehouses for physically disabled people to access the items properly, they'll put huge amount of fines, and even you can sue them. See, the game is big. So when you want to be successful, you have to align those people in your thinking process, in your experiences. As a service designer, you need to do all such things. Then obviously, whatever prototypes you are creating, and believe me, as per the estimates, next big innovations happens around service design. Now digital innovations, they have a limited thing, but how I can better my services, because I can create a digital interface with a great experience of digital thing, but I have to deliver some service or the other, right? So if that fails, my digital interface doesn't have much of a say on that. So probably next level of big innovations happens with the service industry. Major innovations. So the funding goes, companies are investing hugely onto those things. You take banks, they have to change themselves. Now you take ATM, it is a service change. You take ATM card, but now there is no ATM card. Correct? There is no much influence of ATM card or ATM machines anymore. Now the things have shifted. Similarly, there are different services where the things are shifting. So if you don't consider those things, then it is going to be a panic. Now, as a service design, you don't need to care only about digital experience. You cannot focus only on to digital experience. But I think we are very much habituated of focusing only on to digital experience. But the game is shifting. It is like this. I told you, right? Redbus example I told. Now here the problem is, if my servers are not good, then I have an issue. If any touch point, so touch points can be human to mission, mission to mission, mission to human, human to human. See, have you ever thought these many touch points you have? If I'm doing some activity like ordering chocolate from Zepto, how many touch points are there? Human to mission, mission to mission, mission to human, human to human. So I'm booking the order, it is going through that app, it is, and then it is transferring to that particular dark room. Then that dark room, that guy who is seeing that system, he is preparing it through human to human touch point. Then delivery boy is giving, again delivery boy is giving it to me. In between, he is using human to mission to find the address of the customer. And once he touches me, that becomes human to human. Now again, I'll go back to my screen and check whether I have received all the items, whatever I have ordered. If not, again, I have a human to mission touch point, that is customer support. See how many touch points are there. So are we doing that part effectively? That makes a successful product. Now let's go furthermore. So recently what they have done, they have just revised. There are two things here in service design. One is thinking. Okay, as a service design, how you need to think to provide best experience. And second one is, while doing, what are the things which you need to. So very recently they have revised that to 6 points. That is human-centered, obviously. User-centered they removed. They added a word called human-centered. Because I told you human mission. So it is no more user, only digital screen is user. But there are other touch points where you have, so they changed that because it is going to be a human service now. And collaboration, instead of co-creation, they used the word collaboration because you are collaborating with all the stakeholders across different backgrounds, different functionalities. And continuously it is an iterating process. Iterative process means continuously you are updating. Today, say for example, you take a very simple example in front of us very recently. Till recently, everybody believed that any order can take in a grocery level. Big Basket was offering 1 day. Yesterday you have done it, today morning they are delivering it. Then people have shifted 2-3 hours. All of a sudden, Zepto has come and said, I deliver it in 10 minutes. Everybody was shocked. How it is possible? Now see, everybody was forced to shift to Zepto model. Now, Big Basket is also offering 10 minutes delivery. Now, Instamart also offering, Blinkit is also offering. Prior to that, it was first one is Zepto started 10 minutes and Blinkit started furthermore fast expansion level. If you take it, the first guy who expanded dark rooms very effectively is Blinkit. They started selling not only groceries, they shifted to sportswear, they shifted to electronics, they shifted to cookers, all kind of items, they started expanding it. Now see, it is an iterative process. But first, within 1 year back, everybody believed that it is not possible 10 minutes. But today, the world is no more believing if someone is taking more than 20 minutes. Now today, if same statement, if I say, "Arey bhai, 20 minutes ke zyada ho rahe," bole to I think wo to bekar hai. Let's move to some other guy because other guys are delivering me in 10 minutes. But the same thing happened. See how the whole business ecosystem has changed all of a sudden. Now the race is about how effectively you're building dark rooms. The success lies on dark rooms now. Immediately it shifted to service design. Previously, it was apps. Today it is no more app. Everybody has app. Now what is the game? Can I able to deliver it in 10 minutes? That means I have to align all the stakeholders in a very, very effective way. Then only I can able to deliver my service in the best possible version within that particular time. See, now people are talking about who created better dark rooms. Somebody has developed dark rooms in 650 dark rooms is created by Blinkit. Now Zepto has developed around 300 dark rooms. Now Amazon is planning to develop 100 dark rooms within no time because even Amazon started seeing a big possibility. Previously, Amazon was delivering 3 days, 4 days. Today, see, Amazon is delivering same day or next day morning within before 12 o'clock. See that the whole shift is because now the competition is no more digital. The competition is shifted from digital to service. Who can offer me the best possible service in a faster time? Now the shifting, they are investing, Amazon is investing hugely on improving the service possibilities. That is where service designers is needed. Now all the top 1% companies are hiring service designers. Maybe I don't believe immediately IT companies are going to give huge say onto it, but definitely Amazon is hugely investing on service designers. All the top 1% companies are investing onto it. Believe me, next big thing is going to be that. You can check yourself because you don't need to think something every day around you what is happening. आप observe करो, आपको मालूम होता why you are getting irritated, why somebody you are not liking it. Today Starbucks, why you are liking it, why you are not liking it, why it is successful, why it is not successful. Every business you take it and analyze it. What are the factors which is influencing you? So today the game is behavioral economics. AI has come. So the whole behavioral economics is about where I'm getting irritation, why I'm getting irritation. See, somebody has promised me 10 minutes delivery, he is taking me 20 minutes delivery, then bingo, my behavior change, I become wild, I become anxious, I become panic. What all those things are happening. But previously, do you really expect something to happen to something to get you within 20 minutes? No. That time you don't have any problem. You are expecting 2 hours. If somebody is giving you in a shorter note, you are happy. But today, I'm promising it in 10 minutes. If I'm delivering it in 20 minutes, you get panic. You get irritated. You want to shift to some other guy. Why? The human behaviors are very short span now. In such a scenario, getting a customer, retaining the customer loyalty is becoming the toughest task. Are you getting my point? So you should really need to understand and do research every day how the customer behaviors are changing and what aspects they are shifting their services, how they are planning to shift themselves and where they are expecting improvements onto service. Now, why service design for the company's level, what it is influencing is these things. Just give me a minute. Now, just think of a company. Now, Amazon, you take it, it has automated lot of things to save time to the customer, to save time to the company. Say, for example, you have booked a product and you want to cancel it. Are you really talking to a human? In Amazon, no. It is automated. The service is automated. You understand? Now, why people are caring about chatbots? Do you think chatbot is going to survive longer unless it has a human touch point? Such a irritating thing. But how can you improve to automate it? These are the difficulties today. I need to provide service, but at the same time, I need to automate my services so that with a human touch, so that my recurring money is not going to be huge. If I have to hire 10,000 people, instead, I'm investing on 100 people to make it automated, so that these 100 people create an automated version of 10,000 people. That's the game. That's where my customer satisfaction is increased, my digital transformation is happening, and I'm reducing the cost. I have a seamless service experience, and my retention of the customers are going to be more. Now, everybody have a panic situation in this scenario. Okay, I'll come back to this. But the major panic situation is, as a UX designers, as a service designers, we have a one question in mind. That is AI going to replace us? Definitely no. First thing is, you take calculator. Don't get into AI level. We simplify the things. You take calculator. Calculator can do any calculation. But who has to tell what to calculate? Human. Understood? Who has to automate things? Human. You understood? So who has to identify opportunities? Human. Who has to identify choke points? Human. Where the final delivery happens to? Human. Where the pressure points are? To human. So there are choke points, there are pressure points, which you are converting into our opportunity points. Then only AI can help you. Presume this thinking is not happening. This research is not happening. Who will feed the data to AI to create AI-enabled services? Somebody has to tell AI that, you have to do this part. Otherwise, so in this course, we are enabling AI-related possibilities also. I'm going to teach very in-depth how AI is going to create experiences and service design experiences where we can use, how we can use AI to make it a better. That also we'll be discussing in this part. So basically, it is you who has to define as a human being. So don't think AI will replace human. Maybe AI will change the way human works. AI can change the way the services are offered. So if my job is, or your job as a service designer is, to find opportunities to improve. I told you, right? It is a continuous iterative process. So it is your job to understand and improve on a daily basis how my services can be improvised and how I'm going to automate those things so that my cost can be reduced. But is it standard? Absolutely no. Then your job is there every time, because it is you who is finding the opportunities. It is you who is finding the choke points. It is you who is finding the pressure points and converting into a pleasure points. Understood? So basically, in the course, whatever we are offering as a service design, we are going very in depth about every touch point involved with the service. So we start with the products, we start with how to convert product into service, and then how service design thinking has to go, how those principles has to be applied, how to create a common language among all the ecosystem and all the stakeholders, all the service providers, everybody, and creating a sequencing part of it. That means basically every step of service design thinking and service design doing, we are working with. And in this part, probably you might not be knowing it. The deeper you go, stakeholder mapping will happen, value network mappings will happen, ecosystem mapping will happen, which I think you are altogether new to those terms and terminologies. That in depth we are going. And remember one thing, next big thing is value proposition. I am not caring about what product it is. I'm caring about what value I'm feeling about that product. That matters the most. So when I'm creating a value proposition in the mind of a customer, he is willing to open up his pocket and pay money to you. If you are not showing that, he is not ready to spend even half a rupee. Nothing, he's not. You need to show him why and what way it is creating value. So today, if you observe, you are buying a car, you are buying any item, it is based on the value, what it adds to your life. So it is the service designer job to create that value system. If that is not there, no. Believe me, that is the biggest thing today where companies are making huge monies. You take Tesla. Tesla is a $1 trillion company. You know, hardly it sells 1 lakh cars every year. How the market valuation happens? 1 trillion. Very simple. It is creating value for the customers and stakeholders and investors. As simple as it. And it is spending 60% of its revenues on research. See, companies, and no auto company in the world, automobile company in the world has that much market cap. All together, all BMWs, all Audis, everything, Volkswagen, everything, Tatas, everybody together is not matching Tesla valuation. But how many Tesla cars it is selling? Hardly 1 lakh. But if you observe the market cap, it is more than 1 trillion, not billions, $1 trillion. Why? Value proposition. Today you take Zomato, the value is 1 lakh crores above 1 lakh crores. Is it own anything physically? Nothing. The entire value is based on value proposition. How much value it is adding it to the customers, how much it could able to take from the customer's pocket. That's the game. So in that game, if you want to win, you have to be careful. You have to invest on services. Today, Zepto is planning CAFE service. So it is ready to get you coffee within no time. Quick commerce, coffee. So आपको 10 मिनट में coffee आता है. Now the investment happens like this. How can I get coffee with the same format what somebody is going to a tea stall having a coffee? He is expecting some temperature. He is expecting certain things. Similarly, here you have to innovate in such a way that coffee comes to you with the same flavor, same heat, whatever the same requirements you have. In such way, it has to deliver. Now the investment happens there. You understood? Everywhere companies are thinking to change their model because existing model is no more. So You have to create a service proposition. Even banks also, even healthcare also. Today, healthcare is a huge thing. But if you observe, healthcare today, every hospital is a five-star hotel. They are not making money with healthcare. They are making money with services, service design. Why they have to create a five-star hotel? Because they are selling the room like a five-star hotel. In Taj Krishna, maybe the cost of the room is 20,000. In any bed, hospital bed, they are charging more than 20,000 per day. Same room with the five-star feeling, you are creating it, and you are doing two things. One is medical, another one is service, where you are selling premium prices. Otherwise, why you need to pay so much money for facilitation? Have you ever checked the bill per day? Food, they charge 2,000 rupees, 2,500 rupees. So see, that is medical. Food is not their work, but they added. That is where it is generating revenue. So companies need to find ways to take money out of your pocket. So that is what we teach in the service design program. So career opportunities, basically, like as a UX UI designers, graphic designers, product designers, architects, business analyst, anybody who is into design thinking and all, they can shift to this. And believe me, next 10 years, this industry is going to grow at least 10 folds. Pakka, assured. आप ही observe करो where your disappointments are. Remember, wherever you are feeling disappointed, there the opportunity points are. Simple as it. आपको अभी तकलीफ किधर हो रहा है? Services. And where the opportunities are? Improving the services. Today, Vande Bharat, why it is successful? Why you are paying premium payments to Vande Bharat trains? Because they changed the service, not the travel. The facilitation, they changed it. The experience of service, they changed it. That's why you are paying 3 folds, 2 folds money for Vande Bharat. Otherwise, it is the least amount which you pay for any train. Now you are paying premium because of the services what it is offering, not because of the travel. Distance has not changed. Only facilitation has changed. That is where the huge possibilities. Okay. So basically, we focus on to the human-centered approach and personalized thing, and we teach you all the possibilities of psychology-related aspect, practical aspects, everything we teach in this particular program, and we help you onto career opportunities also. So now it is your turn to ask me questions related to this. Probably I'll answer your questions. Then probably you can do it. You can take your call. So anybody who wants to ask me questions, you can just unmute it and ask me. Probably I'll answer. Anybody. Anybody have any questions? Now you can unmute. We have a facility where you can unmute it and you can ask.
Hello, sir. Hi.
Hi. Chepma Venkatesh.
Yeah. What pulled me to come to the class is I tried to apply for a UX UI designer job a month ago, and
Okay.
I found a lot of service design requirements. I felt so happy that you take charge of doing this. I'm so happy, sir. I'm so happy for you.
Thank
So, um, I have a doubt. Like, do we have any separate softwares to use to design service design, or the same apps I can use?
probably service design, the whole thinking process shifts, the way you process the things shifts. Not see anything, even if you take UX, maybe in the UI part you are focused on to the tools, but otherwise the major contributor is the tools, not the tools. It's the thinking process, the way you prepare the propositions, what you consider while you are taking decisions. That is the major thing. So probably tools, there are few tools, but tools are not the major contributors here. The major contributors are the thinking process altogether, the approach you adopt while you are solving or while you are developing the services or while you are creating the things. So there are few tools, but the major thing is not the tool. Tools, any tool can give you the digital version of things. Here we are not talking about only the digital version. So the way you think, the way you do, the way you create the possibilities, the way you are turning your choke points or pressure points into a opportunities, that is where the major game is. So probably the whole thinking process has to change. Not
Absolutely,
the
sir.
tool.
I
Okay.
think a lot of companies are investing much
Yes,
more on user
and
research.
believe me, now I'm seeing. See, last 2 years I'm trying to reach different companies. I tried it, but the people were little adamant. But now the openings have started across the globe. Believe me, next 10 years, service design is going to grow at least tenfolds for sure. Because the biggest thing previously was creating an app. Today, everybody has created app. Now, where the challenge is delivering better services. So the investments companies are going to do is on that. Whether it can be railways, it can be governments, it can be anybody in that matter. See, everybody previously, everybody need a website, everybody created it. There is a big thing over. 10 साल के लिए वो. Then everybody want to create a e-commerce. Everybody created it over. Abhi the next big thing is everybody through that e-commerce, how effectively they can create services and they can sell those services. That's going to be the thing.
Yeah, I believe that because when I'm learning UX UI design from Leapfrog, I remember you saying that Snapchat and Instagram gonna rule the world, and it's doing now. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Thank
Yes,
you so
that
much,
is.
sir. Thank you. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. So that is what, see, as a persons, we need to foresee the things 10 years ahead. That's the game. That's where you always have up the curve and you can see that possibilities. Otherwise, what happens if we are dealing with today? I think our chances of growing is very minimal, because if anything you are doing it for today's sake, your increments are going to be 10%. If you foresee things, then your increments are going to be 200%. So you need to think that part. Am I foreseeing the things in advance? That's where the game is. That's where the opportunities for your career also I'm talking about. And that's where your growth are going to be multifold.
It makes sense, sir. Thank you.
Any other?
Yeah, hi, Sai sir.
Hi,
Basavaraj
hi,
here.
Basu. Yes.
So my question is here that I have seen my transition from being a desktop publisher, then after that graphic designer, and last 3 years I have been part of this UX UI design. But I have never been part of any UX UI product. But yeah, even though unknowingly I was part of this journey. But my question is here that overall working of 20 years, and I wanted to shift my base, being I wanted to shift my from UX UI design to service design. How the company would be considering the person who has worked as a 20 years, and how the market valuation for him going forward?
No, very simple. Any company, you take very simple example, I'll tell you. There is a mobile. Prior to mobile, there is no guys who have created mobile and who has experience with mobile. They only have experience with transmitters. or other products. Now somebody is coming to mobile industry. How companies are going to evaluate? Previously, graphic designers were there. Now the industry shifted to UX. How they evaluate? They need to consider the previous experiences. Anybody in that matter, even myself also same, no? So anybody remember this part. People value your futuristic vision, not what you had done. How visionary you are to create better world. That's where your value. That is why I told you there is a topic, a big topic, which people are missing out. That is value proposition. How you are valuing yourself, how you are valuing your services. This is the biggest game. आप लोग लिख के रखो आज. Next 10 years, the word of value proposition is going to be big. आप आज डेट डालो, लिखो. And if you don't learn how to value yourself, you can't sell it to companies. So what you need to do is, what my experiences are, don't talk to them. What value I can bring it to the table, that is the terminology, that is the language you need to adopt yourself. Because a lot of times where we don't sell ourselves rightly is because of that. See, a lot of people have a inhibition that, मुझे ये नहीं आता, मुझे वो नहीं आता. Why people want all of you? No, they don't want all of you. They want what they want, how much value you add to that. That is what they want. तो आप कभी भी ये सीखो how to tell people in their value proposition, not your value proposition. Now what you are thinking from your side. Forget about it. Don't tell people what you are valuing yourself. Tell people what value you can add it to them so that they can pay you. See, today our mentality, maybe including me, let's take it like this. Our mentality is we want to sell our time. Absolutely trash. That should not be done. You should always sell your value. What value I can add to the company? That you need to convince them. आप कभी भी देखो, up the ladder, because you are in 20 years of experience, you aim for up the ladder thinking. Up the ladder thinking में क्या होता? They don't sell their previous experiences. They sell their futuristic visions. अभी आप ही देखो, एक एग्जांपल बताता हूँ. You take Amazon, you take Google. Google has all the resources, all the best minds. Why it couldn't able to create another social media app? It failed. It tried so many times, it failed. You know why? Because of lack of vision. That is why it borrowed vision of YouTube. He purchased YouTube. It has not created YouTube. Even you take Facebook today, Facebook is totally depending on Instagram. When I had a chat with, if you observe, 2017 guys are there, fewer. I used to tell them that next big thing is going to be Instagram. The reason for that is people have to foresee what comes. And that guy purchased it in $1 billion. Instagram, WhatsApp, he purchased it $19 billion. Everybody laughed. And you know something, even the company's revenue has crashed because he purchased, the share value has lost. But today, the whole value of Facebook of $1.2 trillion is completely because of Instagram and WhatsApp. See, now what is the difference? That guy is a visionary guy. Every other guy who felt it, even you take same thing with Zomato, Blinkit, when people purchased, the share price has went down from 160 rupees to 40 rupees. You know why? People have not believed. But today, Zomato is in profits because of Blinkit. Now, same share has increased threefolds. From 40 rupees today, it is 240 rupees. Why it has increased? The guy who has a vision, that guy created that vision. So you need to talk in the value proposition, not in the, see, if you take that guy, he started with the reviews, Zomato guy. Then he shifted to food delivery. Then he shifted to quick commerce. Now, who is the biggest contributor? Quick commerce. Who is giving more profits to Zomato? Quick commerce. But same decision, when he purchased it for 4,000 rupees, 4,000 crores, everybody denied. That is the lapse. आप दिखाना है, your thoughts are valuable. Today, that guy is the biggest billionaire. समझ लिया आपको? So you need to understand, don't sell them what you had. Sell them what you can make it. ఇది అందరం మిస్ అవుతాం. బ్యాడ్ లక్ ఏంటంటే నాకు ఇవన్నీ తెలిసి కూడా నేను కూడా చాలాసార్లు దాన్ని ప్రాపర్గా ప్రమోట్ చేయలేదు. I couldn't able to promote myself properly. The biggest things, those are laps only. You need to invest on your future, not invest on what already you're gone. वो तो हो गया. So don't talk to people about what your past experiences are. Tell them what past experiences made you valuable for future. Are you guys telling that? That's where the lapse happens. That's where you are not selling up. Selling up bolte isko.
Yeah, definitely, sir. It's really a very good advice. Thank you so much. And I'm sure that, you know, a couple of the new products owner, maybe they wanted to explore. Definitely, they are considering my opinions also for developing their product. It's a good process, I could say. So
And you always invest your thoughts also onto that. That makes big.
Yeah, agreed, sir, completely. Thank you.
Companies also, we need to talk to them in those terms rather than मुझे तो ये experience है, मैं आ रहा हूँ, मुझे ये नहीं. This is what value I can add it. You pay me this. That's the game. Any other? Guys, any other doubts, please ask me. Okay, shall I wind up the things? If anybody is interested to upgrade their skills onto this part, please call me anytime. I'm ready to personally talk to you guys and explain. And if you need any other, I'm there. Okay. Shall we close the thing? Thank you so much for coming. Okay. Now from every 15 days, we keep conducting these workshops where I'll update you what is happening internationally. And even we started a YouTube channel. I started keeping a lot of content there. Probably you can go through Leapfrog Design School or Leapfrog Multimedia, where you can join so that you will get the upgraded tips, content and all. I'll keep delivering it, which will be useful for you for the future prospects. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you guys. Thanks for coming. Okay. If anybody has any doubts, please call me. I'm there. Okay. Thank you.